when I said, yes, I'd like to update later, I figured it would be like 24 hours later or next week, not 30 minutes later. So I didn't even notice it. And then I heard my computer spooling. So we are back. By popular demand, we are going to the Rose Bowl. We are going to feature UCLA and the visiting Utah State Aggies, a matchup of 3-0 teams from the Pac-12 Conference and the Big Ten Conference. Trying to see if I can find stat profiles here for the players. UCLA's star player is quarterback Mike Reed, a very big arm, but not known for his passing touch. And for the Aggies, key player to watch here is tailback Kyle Stringfellow, who doesn't necessarily get the majority of the touches, but he's sort of a change of pace back. Explosive out of the backfield, comes in short yardage and occasionally in passing downs. As the away team, the Aggies have the opportunity to call the toss here, and they will choose tails. It is heads, and UCLA wins the toss, but elects to defer their selection to the second half, meaning Utah State will take over with the football first. Stanley Monroe, the kicker for UCLA, kicks this one off. It is allowed to bounce in the end zone for a touchback. Leonard Powell, the Utah State quarterback, brings his troops out, and on first down, he will pass. Right off the bat, it's a chunk play. Ryan King is open, and it will be a gain of about 20 yards when all is said and done. So Utah State immediately almost to midfield. They go underneath now, handoff to Eric Denman, the primary back, and it is a gain of just 1. So defense stiffens up after a big pass play. Sometimes you'll see them get pass happy, but they played conservative and they were right. Second down, it's a handoff, this time to the aforementioned Stringfellow. Gain of 4 yards, sets up third and manageable. And he'll stay in the backfield, third down out of the pistol, and it is a run to the left side, and Stringfellow will have enough for the first down. Into UCLA territory at the 45-yard line, first down for the Aggies. Powell drops back, looking, but he'll throw this one incomplete. George was in the area, but the pass was not close. On second down, Powell drops back again, and Cameron Warford slips free of his man. It's going to be a gain of 16, but they're going to say he pushed off on the defender, and this one's coming back. It's going to be 2nd and 20 now for the Aggies, back in their own territory. It'll be a toss on second down, Stringfellow out of ace backfield, and that is going to be about an 11-yard gain, maybe 12, as he gets about half of it, all the penalty yards back and a little more. And Highland Preston, the offensive lineman who sprung that run, comes up a little bit shaky. He makes his way over to the sideline under his own power, though. So third and long upcoming. Powell drops back, obvious passing down. UCLA brings pressure, but it's picked up. It's no matter because Powell cannot find Warford, incomplete, and that will set up our first punt of the game. 4th and about 9. No real expectation of a fake for the Bruins here. And Jabari Reynolds of Utah State launches this one. It is going to bounce into the end zone for a touchback. UCLA will take over at their own 20. Home crowd quiets down, but it's not enough as Ted Thomason, a little bit amped up to play in front of his home crowd, goes early. That's going to be a false start on the Bruins. 1st and 15 now, and Reed drops back, and defense jumps the snap. They got a really good rush, but Reed beats the blitz. Tony Smith is open, and he's got a good block downfield. He's got 20. He's got 25, 30. There's only one man to beat, and he puts a stiff arm on the corner, and he's off to the races. first play from scrimmage for UCLA is an 85-yard touchdown. And it's going to stand. UCLA is first on the board with an explosive pass play. The extra point from Monroe is up and good. And that is going to get this crowd off to a raucous start. 11:14 to play in the first quarter, and Monroe trots back out to kick off for the second time already. This one is fielded in the end zone. Andrew Shaw will return this, but he will be short of his own 20 where he is dropped. On first down, nothing doing as Denman takes it, but on second down, Powell, a delayed give to Stringfellow, and he's got a huge crease. He spins away from a linebacker, he beats the safety to the spot, and he is finally chased down by the corner after a 71-yard gain on the ground. Utah State's ground game striking quickly now. Inside UCLA's 20 now. A handoff to Denman, he is stuffed once again. And then on second down, Powell looking for Connell Anderson, but it is high and incomplete. On third down, Utah State goes with a draw, but UCLA not fooled. He will be bottled up for a loss of 5 as Denman, and that's going to force a Desmond Williams field goal, which from 35 yards out is good. A lot of time was allowed to tick off that possession. Utah State taking their sweet time getting to the line. Williams kicks this one off. It's fielded by Captain Jack Sparrow, who will return it to about the 25-yard line. And UCLA goes right back to the passing game. But Nate Newman is dropped for a loss of 7 on first down. Good pressure off the left side for the Aggie defense. On second down, it's going to be a scramble. Reed slides down after a gain of just 4. Not designed, but he managed to salvage something. Third and long, UCLA goes with the draw, but Utah State's defense is all over it. Davidson gets maybe a yard or 2, and UCLA will have their first opportunity to punt. Tony Smith, the Bruin punter, this one is lofted high and deep like a pitching wedge. This is going to be tumbling into the hands of Andrew Shaw, who will fair catch it at the Utah State 25-yard line. So on first down, Powell comes into the game with one back in the backfield. Read option left side, there's a big hole for Powell. The end crashed and Powell took advantage of it, but he is hit hard by the linebacker near the line to gain, and the ball is out. Gary Drum of UCLA has it, and he's got a head of steam. He is finally tripped up by a shoestring tackle, but after review, it's going to stand. UCLA takes over at the Utah State 20. They go to the ground on first down. They hand it to Connor Swaim behind 2 tight ends, and he gets 10 yards and a first down. It'll be consecutive gives to Donovan Davidson for 4 and then for 2. And on third and short now, Reed rolls out to his right after a fake handoff. And it's going to be a touchdown for Jamalo, but this one's going to come back. Holding on Pat Bowles will overturn a UCLA score. And it's going to be goal to go from the 14 now. Reed comes back out onto the field after celebrating prematurely. Lines up in shotgun. 1 back, 1 tight end. And play action. Defense bites a little bit on the fake. Casey Glasgow is free, and he takes the seam route into the end zone for a touchdown. 1 play late, but still a score all the same. Monroe's extra point is good. And with 3:42, UCLA stretches their lead to 2 scores at home. Monroe takes this one, kicks it to the 1-yard line where it is fielded by Shaw, who will once again be dropped short of the 20. After a carry by Stringfellow for no gain, Powell will throw short for Ryan King, who makes something happen after the catch and gets the first down. And then another short pass, another short catch for Ryan King for 5. But then on second down, Stringfellow is dropped for no gain. And on third down, a long pass for Himbo Samuel is a little bit underthrown, and the receiver couldn't come back to it. That will force another Aggie punt. 4 and out for Utah State, and Jabari Reynolds in to punt this one. It's off the side of his foot, tumbling effort, and Jack Sparrow is going to grab this one. He feels it on the bounce. Reynolds brings him down and comes up injured after making the tackle. UCLA will take over at almost midfield, just a 19-yard net on that punt. So Utah State really in trouble early. Jamalo lining up in the backfield instead of out wide. He'll gain 3. And then Donovan Davidson will lose yards on second down. So on third down, UCLA goes to the passing game. They look for Casey Bryant, and he stretches, but he's short of the line to gain. Decision time for UCLA in Aggie territory. A yard to gain. Utah State 43-yard line. Coach Secret's saying to go for it, and sure enough, they are leaving the offense out there. They bark to try to draw the defense offside, but Utah State stays put. They do snap this ball and read a quick slant. And no, he pump fakes. He takes off to the left side, and he will slide down after a big gain. The defense fell for that quick pass fake, and Reed had acres of space to go down at the Utah State 33-yard line. After a first down incompletion, Connor Swaim will take this right up the middle, and he will push over a Utah State linebacker. A first down and a gain of 12. Another handoff, Davidson, and this one it's a short gain, good defensive adjustment from Utah State. My mistake, folks. I did miss the first quarter break, as that will take us to the 13-minute mark of the second quarter. So we're going to have a short media timeout to make up for missing the first quarter commercials. So as we come back from that TV timeout, it's going to be inside the Utah State 20-yard line now is UCLA, with a chance to really step on the Aggies early. Reed drops back looking for Von Dodds, but he cannot complete that one. It's going to set up third and long. Utah State looks like they're going to bring pressure. They walk up an extra man to the line. They do bring pressure, but Reed is confident and composed. He beats the blitz to Jumalo off the left side. Numiso Jumalo, a 14-yard catch before he is dropped out of bounds. Now, goal to go from the 5. On first down, Reed looking to pass again, but there's good coverage downfield. Reed's retreating, and he will finally be dropped. Coverage sack there for Utah State, and they stiffen up on the goal line beautifully. On second down now, UCLA is going to burn a timeout. They don't like what they see, and they're just going to get the right play in. Coming out of the timeout, Utah State looked like they were going to blitz, but they drop back into coverage instead. Casey Bryant, the pass is batted to the ground harmlessly, bringing up third and goal from the 13. And it looks like it was meant to be a screen to Donovan Davidson on third down, but it is broken up by the defense, and UCLA's turn to settle for a red zone field goal, which from 30 yards out, Stanley Monroe will convert. Monroe blasts this one. It's into the end zone. Shaw will once again bring it out and once again be dropped shy of the 20. Utah State leaving yards on the field through the field position game. Powell drops back looking for King, but after a couple of catches on the last drive, he can't reel this one in. And on second down, Powell has to take his check down to Stringfellow for just 3. They go to the draw on third down, and Denman is able to get his first real gain of the day, 8 yards and a first down. but they go back to him on successive carries for a short gain and then no gain. So on 3rd and long, Utah State sticking with the ground game. Stringfellow is going to be bottled up after a short gain, and that will set up another punt. You can see the logic there. The Aggies just trying to get a methodical drive together and buy some time. But not working on that drive, and they will have to give the ball back to UCLA. A different punter after the injury on the last one, and Keyshawn Gaines is going to punt this one. You can see why he's not on primary punting duties. This one is a tumbling short punt. Sparrow's going to pick this one off the bounce, and he's going to return this one into Utah State territory. A 17-yard return, and we're going to have a short field for the Bruins, who already have the lead. On 1st down, Reed is throwing once again, but Jumalo drops this one in the open field. He had a little room to run, but he just started to run before he had the ball secured. On 2nd down, Utah State drops back, and it's a delayed blitz. Reed sees it. He unloads for the end zone. Tony Smith, he goes up and high points this ball, and he brings it down. And that's going to be a 47-yard touchdown catch. No flags on the play. Now, Connor Swain was injured picking up the blitzer there. He's a little bit slow to get up, but no flags. The touchdown will stand, and the extra point from Monroe is good. With 7 minutes to play in the first half, UCLA makes it a 3-score game. Utah State trying not to play themselves out of this one right before the half. Monroe to kick this one away. He will kick this out inside the 10, and Shaw will take this one. A nice little explosive burst here. He'll be out almost to the 40-yard line. So Utah State in better position on this drive than they have been previously. And Powell strikes quickly, finding Connell Anderson for 10 yards and a first. But then they'll hand off to Denman for a gain of 1. A short pass to Trevor George is broken up by the corner. And on 3rd down, Utah State in an obvious passing situation hands off to Denman for a gain of just 2. And this will be a punt. Conservative offense from Utah State has really let them down early in this ballgame. The punt from Gaines, not a very good one, but with good field position, Sparrow's return will only get them out to the UCLA 33. 4:45 to go. UCLA with 2 timeouts. See if they try to kill this half with a touchdown drive. A drop back on 1st down is incomplete, but on 2nd down, they will hand off zone run to the left side. Donovan Davidson. He is brought down for a gain of about 6. And on 3rd down, about 4 yards to the 1st down, and they'll give it to Davidson again. He's initially stopped, but on the second effort, he will get the 1st down. About a minute has ticked off since UCLA took over. Reed drops back looking for Donovan Davidson again, but this one is thrown a little bit in front of him, and he can't catch it out of the backfield. Von Dodds, he's going to catch this one on a swing, and he's got a little bit of momentum here. He spins away from one tackler. He's got a 1st down and more. He's down inside Utah State territory. It'll be more than a 20-yard gain on that catch out of the backfield. And UCLA now 2 minutes to score from the Utah State 33. A handoff, a new back, Patrick Haas in the backfield. He will gain 12 and the 1st down. Utah State trying to conserve some clock here to maybe put together a drive. And that is going to be their first. So on 1st down, Utah State boldly blitzes out of the timeout. Reed just eats this one. It's going to be a short loss, only 2. He recognized the pressure coming, and he was able to salvage it. So defense uses another timeout. And 2nd and long, Reed will scramble, but he'll be dropped for only a yard. So 3rd and long, Donovan Davidson will be dropped. Utah State is out of timeouts, so this will take us to the 2-minute warning. where Stanley Monroe will have the opportunity to hit a 35-yard field goal. And he does. That will stretch the lead to 27-3. Almost, but not quite, the most dangerous lead in sports. This one will be kicked into the end zone, and finally, Utah State will let one go out for a touchback. They will run the ball with Denman, who will carry it for 5. Utah State will let the clock tick all the way down. They will hand it to Warford. And finally, with 38 seconds on the clock, they will hand off to Denman. And that will bring this first half to a merciful close. Utah State just consolidating, trying to bunker down. The end of 2, home team 27, visitors 3. Been real rough stuff early here. Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, your official sponsor of that first half. The Chico, California brewery of choice. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to do the third quarter normally-ish, and then if it's completely out of hand, we're going to speed read the fourth quarter and only do scoring plays. If it's close after the third quarter, we will call it as normal. Utah State deferred to the second half, which was a good decision. They are now going to have an opportunity to try and cut into this lead, which is technically only a 3-score game, but you need consecutive conversions. So, UCLA elected to defer their choice to the second half, and Utah State started with the ball. So insult to injury for the Aggies is they will have to kick off. Desmond Williams will kick this into the end zone, and Captain Jack Sparrow of UCLA will take this out to not quite the 20-yard line. UCLA, you'd think they'd be conservative with the big lead, but they come out throwing. Incomplete on first down, but a second down completion for 11 yards and a first down to Bryant. And then unnecessary roughness on the tackling player, Jalen West. That's going to tack on, and UCLA is going to be out to their own 44. Straight handoff to Davidson, and then a quarterback keeper for a gain of 4. Sets up 3rd and 3 in Utah State territory. Reed drops back, looking for Glasgow, and he will miss him. So that sets up 4th down and 3. With a big lead, we'll see if UCLA decides to press their advantage. Coach Secret's thinking it over, and they're at the Utah State 49, maybe 49.5-yard line with 3 to gain. Secret's thinking it over. He wants to punt, but his quarterback's staying out there on the field. He's refusing to come off. It's a handoff, Patrick Haas. He called the audible right there, and Haas gets it. He gets the 3 yards and a little bit more, and it's going to be first down UCLA. Davidson, handoff on first down, and then on second down, Davidson is going to get the first. They'll keep handing it to him. Steady diet of Donovan here. He will slide down after 6. 2nd and 4 upcoming. It's a play action. Utah State bites on it, and Chumalo is open over the middle because of the linebacker dropping. It's going to be a 13-yard catch, quickly brought down, but inside the Aggie red zone already. Another handoff to Donovan Davidson, and the Utah State defensive front looks wiped out. This is going to be a 9-yard gain, almost to the Utah State 5-yard line. An incompletion on second down, but they'll give it to Davidson behind the big heavies. That's going to be enough for a first down. Goal to go from the 3. They'll bring in extra tight ends, extra offensive linemen. They'll go strength on strength. Davidson gets 2, but he's stopped just shy of the goal line. They switch backs, going to Haas again, and he will go over the top for the UCLA score, and they will punch it in after the extra point. That makes the lead 34-3. This makes it I guess technically a four-score game. 28 points, or I'm sorry, 31-point lead. So 4 touchdowns and a field goal. 8:54 in this third quarter. Monroe to kick off, and this won't be allowed to drop for a touchback. An incompletion out of the backfield to Stringfellow gives way to Denman, who gets 8 yards. Good burst there. And on third down, they will just go right up the middle with Stringfellow, who will get the first down. And then Powell, after an incompletion, will take it himself for a gain of 8 on the scramble. Third and short, they throw quickly for Warford, but they miss him out wide. And this is a pretty pivotal moment here. It's 4th and 2. If you don't score on this possession, the game's just about over. Utah State's thinking it over, and they'd rather go down fighting than surrender punting. They will leave the offense out there. Powell in shotgun. He takes the snap. He's got good protection, but nobody's open. He's trying to get away from a delayed rush. He breaks away from one tackler, but the second gets there and will bring him down for a 3-yard loss. It will be a turnover, and UCLA will have the ball in Aggie territory with a chance to kill this game off for good. Haas takes the handoff, gain of 9, but it will come back for holding on Gary Summers. So they'll go to the ground again. Davidson gets about 7 of those 10 yards back. And then Haas will get a short gain, maybe 1.5 yards. So third and long, passing down for UCLA. Reed throws. It's a screen to Davidson. Utah State brought pressure. They are fooled. They are beaten. And it is a first down on the catch and run for Donovan Davidson of the Bruins. Not quite into the Utah State red zone. 5 minutes, third quarter. Reed drops back for Von Dodds. Incomplete, but he will toss this one to Patrick Haas on second down, and he will take this one for an easy first down. Utah State defense has just about given up on this one, I think. We've got a lot of bad body language, hands on hips. Reed drops back on first down, incomplete for Smith, but they'll hand it off up the middle, and this exhausted front has no push anymore. Davidson gets 9, and they will hand off to Haas. Short yardage situation. It's going to be a gain of maybe 0.5 yard. He doesn't get it. This exhausted Utah State defense comes up with a third down stop. And UCLA doesn't see any point to kicking field goals in this game. At this point, they're just going to go down running their offense. It's going to be a fourth down attempt for Patrick Haas. He will go right up the middle, goal to go from the 1 yard line. Or I'm sorry, this will be a 1 yard, 4th and 1 from the 4 yard line, and Jumalo will take this one to the goal line. And now they'll hand off to Patrick Haas on the goal line, and he will go right up the middle for the 1 yard score. Defense gives way 41-3 after the point after. And folks, it does not really get better here. Utah State takes over, and they have it when we switch to the fourth quarter. Utah State fights their way down for a nice touchdown drive with about 13 minutes left in the game. Makes the score 41-10. But UCLA scores a touchdown on their next drive. Utah State is forced to punt. UCLA, we got dueling punts. So 2 straight Utah State punts, a UCLA punt. UCLA keeps going for it on fourth down. It's just incredible. They had a 3rd and 21, and they completed a 24-yard pass with 3 minutes left in the ball game. Like, just lopsided stuff here. 2nd and 10, 15-yard run. UCLA with 1:36, goal to go from the 3. Patrick Haas, another touchdown. Utah State decides to go for it on fourth down with 1:12 to play and doesn't get it, so UCLA gets another field goal. And then, yeah, that was brutal. The game will finally end with an incomplete pass to Connell Anderson, which makes our final score UCLA 58, Utah State 10.